A very important place to visit here in Konya is this area known as Calistra. This series of caves and dwellings carved right out of this cliffside are remarkably preserved. For example, this church just up the hill from us here, carved directly out of the stone by early Christians. Also along the rim of the valley and the cliffs on the opposite side from us, there are other caves and dwellings just like these. However, we're just going to focus our attention on this series today, as it's one of the most important. Below in this series of caves, there is a meeting room that is of interest. We're going to go and have a closer look. This is a well-preserved church carved right out of the stone here in this beautiful hillside. It was in this region that the Apostle Paul came and visited and encouraged early Christians. This meeting room is one of the more well-preserved rooms in this cliff structure along where the cave dwellings have been directly carved out. It is very interesting as you look at the details to consider the time it must have taken to carve all of this out, one chip at a time, all by hand. Catalhoyuk is the most important and most famous archaeological dig area in Konya. Its history spans a time frame of over 9,000 years. The time of this settlement and how it was constructed was spanning a period of around 900 to 1300 years. When the community was begun here, the lowest hole that we have here, the plane would have been 3 meters below that. So as you can see, it has built up over that 900 to 1300 year time frame as literally layer after layer of homes and daily life was added. In this excavational process, more and more information has been found to give us answers to previous questions. What implements did they use to build these homes? How did they prepare their food? How did they live? How did they take care of those who died? What was their way of life? So we see this detail literally layer by layer coming and being unveiled before us. It's amazing to me to consider the history that is here at Catalhoyuk. It was James Mallard who began this excavation process of over 9,000 years of history in 1961 through 1965. At that point, excavation processes stopped and then were resumed by other archaeologists and anthropologists in 1993, continuing to this day. Every summer, teams of archaeologists and anthropologists come from all over the world to try to find more answers to previous questions about this ancient settlement, right here in Catalhoyuk. This is just one example of a model home here at Catalhoyuk. This is what the homes would have looked like. It was designed in the same pattern as those that were excavated during the dig processes here. Actually, you can see the mud outside casing, also with different kinds of straw and materials used to pack the mud, hold it together as it dried. There wasn't a door anywhere else on the house itself except through the roof. The roof had a very thick thatch layer, and this was again to keep it cool in the summers and also hold heat in the winter time. So people would enter their homes from the roof. Very interesting system. Inside, we'll see more detail of what their life would have looked like. This is a wonderful example of what the early homes would have looked like almost 9,000 years ago. Actually, we have in this area with the animal hide, an area that would have been used maybe to sleep. Also, the early civilization, the people of this area, they would work with leather as well. So we see an example of a leather animal skin being dried as well. The ladder going up to the roof because the only way to enter and exit the home was by way of an opening in the roof. Also, there was an oven made out of a mud-like substance that was used. The only way for the smoke to go out, the only opening, was the same doorway used to enter the home. Also, we have different containers here modeled after what has been found in this excavational process, as well as different mural designs, because on the walls of the interior of the homes here at Catalhoyuk, there was one thick layer of plaster, white plaster, then there was a second thin layer that was applied. Then they would begin painting and designing the interior of their home with different scenes of their life around them, or maybe different ideas or themes. That every home had a unique design, very beautifully decorated. Some of these layers of decoration or painting were up to 120 layers thick on some of the walls of the homes. Underneath, the floor of their home was used as a burial area. In some of the homes excavated here at Catalhoyuk, there have been as many as 12 to 15 family members that have been found buried beneath the floor of the home. Very interesting to note. Also, different items that they have made. Examples of things found here at Catalhoyuk. Behind us is a room that is used as a food depot or storage area. Different clay jars, different pots, different areas where food or water would have been stored. Indeed, very fascinating to consider the history right here in Catalhoyuk.